Yo, welcome back to Wook Plus. Some weekend Wook, joined by Great Went. Kev, I was a fun show, man. What'd you think?
I was surprised that they did 3 repeats with only 8 shows.
Right off the bat, too, they didn't even wait at all. They were just like, we're coming out with Moment Dance. Yeah, but I
So
don't
much
know.
stuff.
I don't get upset with the repeats. Like, that used to not be a thing, right? Like before 2017 and the Baker's Dozen, it was like not that common for them to go 8 shows.
Right, but when
But
they did the 8 show run in 19 in the fall, that's when it kind of solidified if we're doing under 8 shows, then we aren't going to repeat.
well, here's
We
the
have
thing.
enough stuff.
And we were talking about this earlier. In my opinion, if they limit the total number of songs for a tour, this is how they used to do it, but execute them better than like doing too much butter or too little butter on too much bread and just spreading themselves super thin. I would rather them play less songs and execute them better. And I think they have been this tour. I think they've been executing everything at a higher level than they did last year.
Right. Well,
So
I went into Fingo for this run under the assumption that there'd be no repeats.
yeah.
So
Well, you fucked yourself.
I did fuck myself. But then we got the Sigma Oasis, 10 minutes, nice jam in it, solid, came back. I think the re-entry was okay with it.
Yeah, I love that song. It's and I didn't when I first heard it, but it's grown on me significantly over the last couple of years. Strong start to the set with those two. I like Party Time. That was their third song.
Yeah.
It has this like New Orleans like, the kind of brass band kind of feel to it, even without the
S-
brass band, but it has that like
It
I don't know.
it isn't a second line beat though, is it?
No, it's not, but it had which is what I love about it. It's almost because like Stan Moore, like Galactic does that second line beat and like a lot, right? Like he'll throw
Yeah.
that shit and everything. But like Fish, he'll just do influenced by beats, but never do the
Right.
authentic beat. Like nothing. Like Stash is not an authentic, you know, uh Latin Cuban
Right.
beat. And same thing with this. It has like a feel of that, but
Right.
it's his own take on it.
People used to always, yeah, in like 97, 98. Oh, for Halloween they should do a Meters album because they're playing the funk now. And I was always like, I don't think Fishman could play a Meters album. I don't think he could be that disciplined. I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know if discipline's the right word, but it's very, you
no,
have to
I
play it
hear you.
exactly like the album.
I mean, he probably could. I don't think saying could is the right way. I just don't think he would want to. I don't think it would be as fun and rewarding for him, right? Like I think if he like had to, he put a gun to his head. I mean, he's one of the best drummers,
Right.
in music. But anyway, so great party time. Then what did we get?
Strawberry Letter.
Right, cool, right?
Another short one. Yeah, they did 2 short ones, a little bit rare, which is much better. I thought they did Ginseng Sullivan for the sound check. So I was hoping that was gonna pop up.
Yeah, I'm okay with not hearing that.
Really? I'm a big fan. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's good. I mean, if you're gonna get one of those songs, which what is that like?
Old Home Place, that, Uncle Pen.
Yeah, Nelly Kane, like there's other ones I would rather get than ginseng, I guess is what I would say.
So I would probably take that Old Home Place first and then
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Wow, look at us agreeing tonight. There's no conflict. There's only two of us, so we're gonna fly through the show. This is
Friday
wild.
in LA.
It's
Friday
because
in
I'm
LA.
cold as shit in my basement right now.
So
All
then we
right.
get the meat of I guess there were 2 meaty portions, but the everything's right hit
Yeah.
about 20 minutes, maybe a little longer. I think it got to some nice spaces. It's one of those things where you expect it. So,
Yeah.
they do a 20-minute everything's right and you're like, "Yeah, that's right. That's what they should be doing."
Yeah.
So,
It's definitely suffers or struggles from expectations because it's been such a reliable jam vehicle over the last several years.
right now,
Um,
how do you think Mike's bass has been sounding? Because I want to touch on this in the second set, but how do you think the new bass has been working out?
I don't. I'm not. I don't have good enough ear to tell you like tone wise or like the nuances of the instrument. But what I can say is I feel like his confidence and his approach to some of the jams, and I don't know if it's even confidence because he's a professional musician. Like I'm sure he's confident,
Right.
but I just feel like he's well, he is more upfront because of the mix, but also in like his choices in the jams, he's really like owning it a lot more. And I feel like in past a couple of the past tours, it's been the Trey Fish story, right? Where they've
Mm.
just been making every decision and dominating every jam. And having Mike so out front in the mix, which is great, and with this like new confidence, his groove. I don't know. I think it's a net positive effect.
Right. I thought Page was horribly low tonight.
Yeah, it's
Um,
the new Mike.
right, the organ solo and Funky Bitch, you could barely hear. All you could hear was Trey strumming.
That should be the new cry. Like, turn up, Leo. Like,
I'm
Jesus.
starting fans for a louder Page.
Yeah. But no, you know what, that everything's right though, even if it, isn't the best everything's right or whatever, it was perfect timing for a stretched out jam. And I think and setlist decisions this tour has been the only thing that I think some people have questioned, right? Because they've made some weird left turns and like fourth quarter fuck ups. But I liked this build up. MoMA all the way into everything's right. It was a continual ramp up, and then they spaced it out a little bit with everything's right. And just a great lineup, I think, in the set list.
Trey's been using Chat GPI to write the set list.
He's
So
been
that's
doing
the issue
something.
there.
And so is .NET. You see that shit?
Yeah. Oh,
Wait
that is
until everybody
weird.
finds out we're just AI. We're
Right.
robots, actually. I'm
We're like max headrooms. Oh, so then they did Shade. Shade is Shade. We both know how we both feel about it.
Fucking
Good
hate
for them. It's a
Shade.
cool down song. I mean, what can you say that they don't ever, it's not like, wow, they did a 10-minute Shade and put this huge jam in it. It is what it is. It
Yeah, but
basically
even
reflects
as a cool down song, I don't like it. Even as a ballad, even as whatever you want to call those songs, I don't even know. It's just, it's illogical. And you're the guy that usually gets caught up on the lyrics. I don't give a shit about lyrics, but I hate that premise of not liking Shade. That is like one of the like
everybody likes
fundamental.
Shade.
Everybody does, regardless of your religion or creeds or your language or your nationality.
You're looking for the Shade.
Everybody, yeah. Anyway, I actually missed the funky bitch. I had some technical issues, so I'm gonna abstain from this.
It was 4 minutes long.
Okay.
And like I said, Page was so low in it. Like the organ solo, which is what that song is built around for me, was Mike seemed to miss one of the lyrics too. I don't know. It seemed a little off.
It was a little funky.
Right. But then they made up for it more than you can imagine in that Wave of Hope, which is still my 4.0 hero. I mean, who knew that was going to come from that first one? I guess was last April at
Was that Deer Creek?
at
New York.
MSG. Remember they opened the second set of the New Year's set with it.
Oh yeah.
But it was only 5 minutes long. You didn't know until the Deer Creek one.
The Deer Creek was when we
opened it up.
Yep. No,
And now every time, I mean, just Trey rips it. I don't know. It's great, I look forward to that. Now, my thing is the set closer was a little strange, but I can see it. I mean, it's upbeat. It's the arena rock thing. This too shall pass. I like it better in the second set as a place that is open on the other end.
Yeah.
They can go into another song or something.
You wanted in where the spot that Disease took tonight.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. So, set break. Like, subscribe. If you're watching this later, please comment. Tell us we're doing a great job or that we don't know what the hell we're talking about. And tomorrow night we'll be back. Sunday night we'll be back. Next Wednesday, Liv returns. I don't think we have a guest to announce yet, but on May 3rd, we will be having Matt Bush back. So make sure to mark your calendars for that. And let's jump into the second set.
Oh, I do want to say, in case people haven't seen it, we brought back Microdose. We touched on the Japanese tour, the Japan tour rumors. So we don't need to hash that out now. We're probably going to do a follow-up because more things have come out since we released.
It's going to be a box set. It's definitely going to be a 10 LP box set.
Oh God, that'd be. I don't care. But no, check that out, and and like and subscribe. Okay, now let's get into this second set. All right, for sample, I don't know. No other song do I go to a specific moment like I do with sample and the Baker's dozen. And it's when they do the build up and then they took the left turn into the jam. I can't not think of that moment anytime I hear sample, and I'm always let down because they're never gonna do that again.
Right.
But it was
I
a great way
found
to start the set. So
I found an interesting sample there, reminiscent of My Soul opening the set. So a first set song normally short, to the point, upbeat. Okay, let's get our toes wet, kind of thing, which is
yeah.
great. And then we got the disease. I think everybody was expecting that to come out tonight.
It was great. It was such a creative and unique Down with Disease. That's one of those jam vehicles that just I feel like it suffers a little bit from being too familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times the drawn out spacey jams and Disease are like, oh, I've heard this Phish jam, 1,000 times.
Right.
I think it was cool because they layered. So throughout the last year, so we've heard different kind of themes come into their jams, right? Like they do the bleepy bloopy stuff, they do the Fishman bumper rail thing with and then obviously Trey wailing and stuff. But to not in this Disease jam, at least in my opinion, I don't know. I feel like they layered those. So you had Phish just doing this ostinato repetitive droning thing that was very cool, kept the groove, but was so locked in, didn't go anywhere with it. Like the variation, which was awesome. And then Paige and Mike were doing a lot of bleepy bloopy stuff over it. So it was like a combined thing. And then Trey, instead of doing more sound effects and just going full plinko with it, was doing more of his Clapton style guitar. So when you mix the traditional Clapton guitar over the bleepy bloopy plinko stuff with Phish doing his, chainsaw thing, that I don't know if any of these things make sense to, if I'm describing it right. You really just have to listen to it. But bottom line is I thought it was super creative. The
You need to take
deconstruction.
some notes on the times and be like, listen to 12 minutes into the Down with Disease.
Yeah, well, the one part I think everybody will remember is where they deconstructed and they land in that halftime funk where it just all of a sudden hits that halftime funk was so good.
They did not finish it. And I think, going back to what you said about Disease and the same jams, Disease was one of the first songs that they really tried to push and open in 1.0, and there were some growing pains and some Down with Diseases over the years, them trying to figure it out. But like the Tweezer the other night, this is what we get now. A
Yeah.
band that is mature and confident, and just they're like, all right, 22, 23 minutes, no problem. We're not going to waste a minute of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was good. Well
Even though they
executed.
wasted the next 6.
Oh God, I'm not in love with this song. It's probably the take that gives me the most shit. Everybody hates me for it, but not a huge Mercury fan. I mean, it was fine. To get the Marimba Loomba going and get to relive
Twice this
18
tour, though, they finally,
twice.
it's
Yeah.
worth it that they brought it on tour this time. They got 2 songs. Maybe we'll get a Son of a Mule and get the trifecta there.
Yeah, I wonder how heavy that thing is. It looks like a monster. It looks like a beast. No, it's cool. I mean, it was pretty basic, pretty standard, I guess, right?
They drag in they probably drag in local crew to move it. All right, guys, you grab that over there. Anyway, so they ripcorded Mercury with the third repeat of the night, Blaze On, and I'm with you on Mercury. I take or leave it. The lyric doesn't grab me. Anyway, but the Blaze On, now there we go.
That was cool.
Right.
That was fun. A little on the nose, but
right. If you're gonna repeat songs, repeat Wave of Hope, repeat Blaze On.
yeah.
I guess.
I wonder how many other people had that dumb moment when they're like, "You're in the bowl, Blaze On," and you're like, "Oh, it's like a bowl."
Right.
I don't know. In my mind, I always thought bowl of cereal.
Trey took his hands off the guitar and was singing the Blaze On. I was like, "You feeling yourself, my man?"
He probably hasn't smoked in 2 decades, right?
Right. No, but I'm just saying. Well, during the song, at the end, the Blaze On part, he stopped playing his guitar and was just
yeah,
singing along.
He's having
Where
fun.
are
He's
you?
living his best life.
Where are we on the vocals? I see a lot of people on the timeline over on Twitter making fun of Trey's stylings.
Yeah, I mean, but when was Trey ever a great singer and made good styling choices? Like, I don't know.
I think it throws people singing it different. That's like my issue with some Dead and Company stuff. Like Bobby singing Jack Straw different than he sang it with the Dead. It
Yeah,
really
but
like drives me crazy
all
sometimes.
you stubborn old fogies need to just chill because it's Bobby doing it. It's Trey doing it, right?
My
Like
motherfucking song. You
they
write this
got to
song?
keep
I
the
wrote this
music
song.
fresh and alive and change it up and whatever.
Right.
I'm like doing that syncing thing that Chad was doing the other night, but it's not. I'm just cold. I'm like huddling myself. Like God, I'm fucking so cold.
We're up here. So then we got to You Enjoy Myself. I really thought this was gonna be like Sunday's encore, like a exclamation point. It was good. I don't think that it had anything. It wasn't. I mean, the song's 15 minutes long anyway. So how
Yeah, there
much
was
can
some
you
cool
do with it?
parts in the middle, but nothing like right to write home about. And that's another song that, as of late, has really stepped up. I would argue that's one of like the MVPs of
Right. Well, last
4.0.
year with the second jam, the short
Yeah,
vocal, and they
the
were on the
tags
second jam.
jam.
I don't think they did it this year. If they've
No,
done another You Enjoy Myself, it was with a
yeah.
vocal jam, and it's back ending a set. Not that it ended this set, but at the end of a set instead of opening.
But if you're gonna complain about Yem, then why are you even a
I'm
Fish fan?
not
No,
complaining
not
about it.
you.
I'm
I
just
mean, one
right,
like Confucius say, like it
right.
was fine, it was standard, but like I'm not gonna complain about it because it's fucking, it's Yem. Like I'm always happy to hear it.
I'd rather have a 20 minutes go to Yem than to Petrichor.
Or Mercury.
Or Mercury, God help us. And then we got Cavern. I don't know if he screwed the lyrics up or not. I know you guys got that running bet.
That's not me. I don't pay attention to lyrics. I do that band thing, and Paul hates my guts because I have no idea what any of his fucking lyrics are. He's like, "Oh, that song's about this." I was like, "No, man, I have no idea." With Phish, with any music, I rarely listen to the lyrics, except for Shade. I listen to it and I fucking hate it.
Right. Well, Phil said that when he started, like after Jerry died and he came back and started performing again and started learning the songs to sing, he said, I was amazed at some of the lyrics. He played with the Grateful Dead all those years and didn't hear what they were, because his monitors, his bass, the lyrics are probably garbled.
I think it's a rhythm section thing because we're listening like to the groove and the feel in the bottom of it, and I don't know.
And then we got Cavern. Cavern was good. So
Yeah.
and then the encore was Drifts While You're Sleeping. I guess it works better as an encore for me than smack dab in the middle of the second set.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a nice length for an encore, right? Where it's like, because I hate when you're on a show and like you feel, well, I guess some people are okay with, but I don't like when you feel like they're rushing through the encore, right? Like when they come out and it's going to be a 1 song 3-minute encore, and it's just like at that point, what? Don't even come back out, like. But like I don't know, I think this was Drift's a nice encore song. I think it works really well.
But when you come back out and do like Fire or something, we're out of here.
Oh yeah, well if that's the case, that'd be. But I mean, like 0 or something. I don't know.
All right, so we got 2 more for this tour. We'll be here the next 2 nights. Remember Sunday's an earlier show, so we'll be earlier.
Yeah,
I think by a half hour it's earlier, the ticket says.
I don't know, man. Whenever you tell me to show up, I'll show up.
You'll be here. There we go. And again, like, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll get the notifications. Make sure this summer we're going to be doing the after shows for Phish and for Dead and Company. We love you.
We're going to be so tired. Thanks, everybody.